Well, thank you very much. And Derwin, as usual, we'd like to thank you very much for the opportunity to address your listeners. We've done a number of these now. I always enjoy the questions at the end, and I can assure everybody that you will have plenty of time to ask whatever questions that you would like, and I'll do my best to answer them. We'll go through our investor presentation. Many of you will have seen this in the past. It's a good refresher. Of course, I'll be touching on and emphasizing our last quarter, which was a major turning point for us. And then we'll be addressing our technologies, our patents, and our proprietary products near the end of this presentation. So having said that, I'm just going to roll into this in a second. There we go. So our primary purpose at Naturally Splendid, as most of you will know, is to capitalize on the booming health and wellness markets. From a pure sales point, the growth in the health and wellness sector is growing so much faster than traditional grocery that we are most definitely in the right spot at the right time. And what we want to do, of course, is to work through the development and the commercialization of all our plant-based products and technologies to capitalize on these growing markets. And how big are these growing markets? I mean, it's $240 billion is the global functional food market in 2014. As you can all see, the pet industry was $60 billion just last year. So the markets that we're looking at penetrating are really substantial, and there's plenty of opportunity there. So our company details, we have corporate headquarters in downtown Vancouver, British Columbia. We recently moved our distribution center to Pitt Meadows, BC, which is about 25 minutes outside of Vancouver. It's a state-of-the-art 12,000 square foot facility where we house our distribution center. We also own 51% of the POS Bioprocessing Center located on the University of Saskatchewan grounds in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. As many of you will know, that is a replacement cost of almost $30 million, and we can touch on that further on in the presentation. And then an area where we are growing and making some inroads now is Naturally Splendid USA. As we were basically developing our other divisions, we've been forming our strategy around how to execute our operations in the U.S. And there will be plenty of time to address what we're doing down there near the end of this presentation. We began trading in March of 2013. We're on the Venture Exchange in Toronto, OTCQB, and we also trade on the Frankfurt Exchange. Our share price, we've been hovering around 30 cents more recently. Our volume is holding steady and reasonably robust at 225,000 shares a day. The 52-week range has been fairly tight. Our shares outstanding are very manageable. We have a very loyal and strong shareholder following. And the part that I think we need to pay attention to really is the market cap of $17.5 million. We'll draw some comparables at the end where market caps of companies that are not profitable like Naturally Splendid, who do not have the revenues of Naturally Splendid, seem to have significantly higher market caps. To me, this appears to be an opportunity.
Naturally Splendid Enterprises is a multifaceted biotechnology company that develops, produces, commercializes, and licenses an entirely new generation of plant-derived, bioactive ingredients, nutrient-dense foods, and related products. Its expanding portfolio of patents and intellectual property is focused on the commercial uses of industrial hemp and cannabinoid compounds in a broad spectrum of applications. To that end, Naturally Splendid has established or acquired manufacturing and ingredient subsidiaries, as well as retail product brands, all strategically positioned to capitalize on the burgeoning plant-based food and beverage market, which in the United States expanded at a compound annual growth rate of 14% in the 2 years prior to 2014.
But the opportunity is this for investors and the potential investors. We have reached that positive cash flow stage in Q2, but we want to be positive cash flow on a consistent basis now. And we're going to achieve this through our exports, our retail sales, and our toll processing presently, and of course add in other opportunities as we move forward. With the blue sky opportunity of HempOmega, and even more blue sky opportunity with cannabinoid opportunities, and more importantly, as the regulatory environment continues to positively evolve in the United States and more recently here in Canada.
Naturally Splendid Enterprises is a natural products company that develops, licenses, and commercializes sophisticated plant-based foods and enhancers. The company's main focus is hemp, which is emerging as a leader in many sectors due to its nutritional and medicinal benefits. With its multifaceted branding, Naturally Splendid is creating novel commercial opportunities around the globe.
HempOmega from Naturally Splendid is a groundbreaking, water-soluble omega ingredient with the power to inspire the imaginations of investors, manufacturers, and consumers. Historically, omega fatty acids were viewed merely as a source of calories. However, in the 1930s, it was discovered that fatty acids are critical to human well-being. Since then, omegas have been proven to improve cardiovascular health, ease symptoms of depression, and aid in the treatment of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, arthritis, psoriasis, and other debilitating conditions. Now that we know a little about hemp and a little about omegas, what exactly is HempOmega? HempOmega is a homogeneous powder created through the microencapsulation of hemp seed oil. HempOmega is 100% Canadian and 100% GMO-free. Hemp seeds are comprised primarily of oil, which Naturally Splendid's unique technology encases in protective microcapsules, shielding the omega fatty acids from oxidation and premature digestion. The end product of the microencapsulation process is a water-soluble, fine white powder, which as an ingredient can be easily homogenized into a wide range of product formulations. HempOmega has the potential to disrupt the market for omega nutrition. In a 2014 study conducted by the University of Manitoba, eggs laid by chickens that were supplemented with HempOmega showed an unprecedented 637% increase in omega content. Additionally, the omega content of the chicken's thigh meat increased by 372%. A decrease of saturated fats was also noted. A study performed by the British Columbia Cancer Agency showed HempOmega to be a more effective nutritional source of omegas 3 and 6 than unprocessed hemp oil itself. HempOmega demonstrated greater uptake and higher sustained plasma levels at ratios recognized to provide heart and brain health benefits. Harvesting fish oil, currently the most popular source of omegas, rapidly depletes our planet's fish reserves faster than it can replenish them. Fish oils are often treated with harmful chemicals and can contain notable amounts of heavy metals. And let's not forget one of the most notable downsides of fish oil: it tastes bad. HempOmega is an environmentally sustainable, vegetarian source of omegas that boast an incredible nutritional profile. It's a water-soluble, powdered ingredient that can be easily integrated and manipulated with no unpleasant taste or chemical contamination. And HempOmega's greater ability to endure the digestive process delivers unmatched bioavailability, thereby maximizing its potential health benefits. And just how big is HempOmega's market opportunity? The global market for omega products is projected to jump from $25.4 billion to $34.7 billion in 2016. The applications for HempOmega are virtually limitless, as nearly any food product can be made healthier with its addition. Possible product categories include functional foods and supplements, nutraceuticals, cosmeceuticals, energy drinks and bars, pet foods, livestock feed, dairy, and dairy alternatives. We invite you to explore this website to learn how consumers, investors, and enterprising manufacturers can take advantage of the growing omega market and the opportunities presented by HempOmega.
But Naturally Splendid is divided into basically 4 divisions. Our bulk export division, our processing, of course, 3 retail lines, and Naturally Splendid USA. How that is broken down, our exporting division is BCI and Simply Plant-Based Ingredients, and we're marketing a roster of high-quality, nutrient-dense, plant-based ingredients. And we can market these as individual ingredients or, in fact, provide formulation services at Naturally Splendid. Our processing facility, this was purchased in 2015 beginning of 2015 was made operational. More recently, it is cash flow positive as well. It is a 12,000 square foot processing facility. The replacement cost on this on the facility would be about $30 million. It was built for about $20 million in the late 90s. This gives us the ability to be our own processor with our nutrient-dense plant-based ingredients, including the proprietary HempOmega, which I'll go into more details at the end. We have 3 retail lines, as I mentioned earlier. All of them are surpassing last year's sales totals. They are doing very well. We're getting traction in most markets now. Natera was the original hemp brand that we developed. It's market additional distribution methodology. CHII is online sales, and Positive Effects is penetrating the pet care market. And there's a lot of product development going on in that area as well. As I mentioned before, Naturally Splendid USA is looking at cannabinoid opportunities, as the U.S. is far more receptive to CBD products and cannabinoid-derived products than Canada at this point.
Naturally Splendid's majority ownership in the 12,000 square foot POS Bioprocessing Center creates the perfect platform for launching products that leverage the company's proprietary omega extraction and formulation technologies, including Naturally Splendid's own HempOmega. Though the approximate cost to build and outfit the POS BPC facility was 20 million Canadian dollars, Naturally Splendid was able to acquire its 51% stake for just 2 million Canadian. With POS BPC, Naturally Splendid can seamlessly coordinate the entire raw plant-to-finished product process, offering its clients the convenience and advantages of a comprehensive one-stop service provider. NSP USA, Naturally Splendid's wholly owned subsidiary, targeting the fast-growing U.S. CBD market, has secured exclusive North American rights to Medro Farms food-grade hemp powder with CBD, and plans to expand its Medro Farm-sourced offerings with a number of other high-quality products. NSP USA's ownership of Omega EFA extraction and formulation technologies, including the first U.S. patent for water-soluble cannabinoids, enable CBD to incorporate into any number of consumer products, such as condiments, cosmetics, functional foods, nutraceuticals, energy drinks, energy bars, pet foods, and many others.
So I want to sort of break the presentation into 2 areas. Part 1, I want to talk about the revenue-generating divisions. And then what we will do is then part 2, we'll focus on that blue sky opportunity of our patented technologies, our proprietary technologies, as well as where we are going with cannabinoids. So exports, guys, $9 million in date and purchase orders with South Korean distributors. We are, in fact, expanding our distribution channels in South Korea. We want to diversify the distribution channels, not only on the shopping channel, but we're getting into mainstream retail now. We also want to extend our product offerings to build our sales in Asia. Right now, we've been selling our shelled hemp seed, but we want to begin looking at hemp protein, hemp oil. And more importantly, I think we have opportunities with HempOmega that are much closer now that we've established a good foothold and a reputation with our hemp brand in South Korea. We want to penetrate additional countries for export. I just recently returned from a trip to Thailand. The regulatory environment there is evolving very quickly. There will be hemp opportunities there. Right now, there is opportunities with other superfoods. And as many of you will know, we have an LOI in place with one of Thailand's oldest trading companies, Tilon. I recently met with the managing director there, and we began to have a very proactive discussion on how to launch additional products into Asia through Thailand. We hope to have some updates on that in the very near future, but we just continue to make inroads to additional countries. So South Korea was the good foothold, and now we're going to begin adding additional countries throughout Asia.
드디어 저희 롯데홈 쇼핑에서 팔레오 이 햄프 시드를 아예 갔어요. 아예 가가지고 깃발 딱 꽂고 제대로 독점 계약하시죠 해가지고 이 팔레오의 햄프 시드를 여러분들께 제공해드릴 수가 있는 거예요.
그렇죠. 그래서 여러분 사실 이 방송이 얼마나 귀하냐면 어머 인기가 너무 좋아. 우리 여기서 어떻게 재배해서 이게 안 돼요.
Canada has been acknowledged as a leader in hemp food cultivation since 1998, and Canada is recognized the world over for its high agricultural standards, which assures our customers of the safest and most nutritious products. We use only certified seed approved by the Canadian government for every crop, and after the crop has been harvested, every batch must be tested for THC before it's packaged.
한번 보여드릴까요? 이렇게.
오,
이게 햄프시드예요, 이게. 이거는 정말 너무 신기한 게 그냥 이대로 그냥 드시면 돼요. 제가 먹어볼게요.
이거죠. 그 위에 소복하게 얹은 거. 처음에는 제가 한 2-3스푼 넣었다가 나중에는 9-10스푼씩 넣어요.
해주셨어요? 자, 이럴 때 우유 시리얼에다가 햄프시드 저희가 오늘 또 이렇게 파우치로 넣어서 드리니까 이렇게 뿌려서 이렇게 뿌려주셔도요.
그렇죠. 나물에도 좋고요.
좋습니다.
맞습니다. 햄보시는 외출용 아이한테 여러분 챙겨주세요. 이조차도 한 박스가 따로 사시면 15,000원인데
네.
지금 수량이 근데 거의 다 된 것 같은데. 어떻게 매진됐습니다.
So to go backwards and talk about our South Korea distributor a little bit so you know the details, Korea Beauty and Healthcare is our main distributor right now in South Korea. They're very successful marketing our product through the Lotte home shopping channel. Lotte has about 21 million viewers a day on the home shopping channel. We sold 40,000 pounds of shelled hemp seed hearts in just in 40 minutes on the very first show. We sold out 13 consecutive shows. And now Korea Beauty and Healthcare has begun to make inroads with this line into mainstream retail channels. Unfortunately, because the sound is not going to play, I think we'll skip through the next slide, unfortunately. We will go right into where the bulk export opportunities lie. And right now, of course, our feature product is hemp. And that would be hemp seed is the main product that we've been exporting. But there are opportunities with the hemp protein in other regions throughout Asia. And in fact, South Korea recently Korea Beauty and Healthcare have recently taken on our hemp oil and have begun to market that in Korea as well. But where we are leading our discussions right now, of course, is we would like to begin to add our proprietary products into the product offering from Korea Beauty and Healthcare, and we are well into negotiations into how we may be able to market HempOmega throughout South Korea. The reason why this is so important and why we have focused on hemp is that it's multifaceted. We can be in the food and beverage industry, whether it be sports nutrition, cosmetics, the pet market, livestock feed. Hemp has products and qualities that can be implemented to many formulations that will be value added for these products. So hemp has a wide range of nutritional benefits that can be marketed to a very wide range of distribution channels, and that is why we have focused on that to begin with. But we are not just a hemp company. We have additional plant-based ingredients. You'll see a few of them listed, whether it be our ginseng powder or extract. We have moringa, fenugreek, broccoli, a number of other plant-based ingredients, and we will begin to market these products internationally as well. Our retail lines, as I've mentioned before, CHII was a company we recently purchased. Natera is our traditional distribution model for hemp, and Positive Effects, of course, is meant for the pet care line. Our retail line looks like this. CHII is marketed online only. This is an e-commerce opportunity. As I mentioned before, sales are exceeding last year's, and we look to set, obviously, a record year for our CHII sales in 2016. Natera is our traditional line of hemp food products marketed through more traditional distribution channels. We have began to make inroads to the U.S. through a major distributor. We're testing with them right now. They have put the first few orders in, and we expect to be expanding to the U.S. more aggressively in Q4 of 2016. Our retail line, Positive Effects, which is a line of pet care products, we market Positive Effects through e-commerce as well as direct-to-consumer through our distribution channels. And we're beginning to make excellent inroads with this as well. And there's been a number of product developments that we've been working on that will utilize hemp as an ingredient to an expanding product offering from positive effects. So the retail opportunity summary: CHII is a hemp food product, hemp food products that we've distributed through e-commerce. Natera, we are a more traditional retail distribution methodology, and positive effects is a blended distribution model where we use e-commerce as well as traditional distribution models. And all these lines, we have the opportunity to extend our product lines, and in fact, we've built in very sophisticated back-end e-commerce technology to all our websites, and I think this is why we are seeing in part increased sales to all three retail lines is due to the fact of our upgraded websites. These are the things that happen behind the scenes that take a little while for it to evolve and come to surface, but the investment that we've made in our websites is now paying dividends with increased sales. I'd like to talk now a little bit of our processing, and this is where I think we begin to differentiate ourselves from a lot of other companies out there. Naturally Splendid purchased 51% of the POS Bioprocessing Center in June of 2015, and that purchase was for $2 million. We own 51% of that facility, with 49% owned by POS Biosciences, who operate the facility for us. The facility, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, was built for $20 million in the late 90s and an estimated replacement cost of $30 million today. This facility allows Naturally Splendid to be our own processor of HempOmega. It is cash flow positive now, so it is adding to our revenue. But I think equally as important and possibly more important is the potential that this facility has to be our own manufacturing facility for HempOmega. And the reality is this: if you do not have a manufacturing facility when you are marketing a new ingredient and you are at the basically whim of other contract manufacturers out there, it is very difficult to secure contracts. You need to be in control of your own manufacturing process, and the POS Bioprocessing Center allows Naturally Splendid to control its own destiny as we begin to market this product more aggressively worldwide. As I mentioned before, our strategic partner, it's very important to understand that POS Biosciences helped us commercialize and get us to those final stages of our HempOmega products. And because they were the ones that designed the technology around our HempOmega, when we move it up to our toll processing facility of POS BPC, this will be a seamless transition, as the technology that was developed to produce HempOmega is the exact same toll processing operations that we have at our manufacturing and processing facility. So it will be a seamless transition from research and development to commercialization to production. And this is why Naturally Splendid is positioned so well to market HempOmega globally. I'm going to skip that, guys, because we're not, for some reason, the technology, the sound is not working. I want to go into a little bit of a description of our POS Bioprocessing Center. As we've mentioned, we're majority shareholders in that. The toll processing services, which we do have existing clients in there now that make us cash flow positive. We produce anywhere from 1 metric ton per batch to hundreds of metric tons. As we've mentioned, it's a significant facility of 12,000 square feet, and it has a number of operations that make us a very sought-after contract manufacturing partner. Our strategic partner, POS Biosciences, has been in operation for over 38 years. The majority of those years, it was a government research and development facility. More recently, it privatized, and this is why we got into an opportunity with them to share the POS Bioprocessing Center in Saskatoon. So these people are very familiar with the equipment inside, obviously. They designed the technologies and the proprietary products that we've developed to be manufactured using, of course, the processing equipment that we have at our own manufacturing facility. So the opportunities for POS Biosciences, for the Bioprocessing Center, when we completed the transaction of $2 million, $500,000 of upgrades was immediately done or was performed to that facility over the next several months, bringing it up to the standards that we expected. It was fully operational as of March 28th. We currently have enough customers in there that we are cash flow positive. And what we are looking for now is to secure more longer-term clients, for that 3 to 5 year agreement term. That's generally an accepted length of term for clients that would be using our facility. These clients take a longer time to incubate, basically, but we are well down the road in negotiations with several clients for much longer-term commitments. Of course, this would be the ongoing business practice of POS Bioprocessing Center. I think it's natural to assume that we continue to look for larger and longer-term clients, and that's what we are in the process of doing now. Equally as important as being cash flow positive at the Bioprocessing Center is that we have reserved a portion of our processing capacity for our own HempOmega production. And now that we are beginning to aggressively market HempOmega, we can confidently say that we have our processing side well taken care of, and this gives our end consumer confidence that we can deliver HempOmega in the time frames that we say we can. So I want to jump into, when we take a look at our exports, and we take a look at our toll processing, and we take a look at our retail lines, what did that mean in Q2 for Naturally Splendid? It was a turnaround quarter for us, basically. We did almost $3.7 million in revenue, and that took us up year-to-date to over $5 million. I think the most important number in all of this is that we have a net income of $885,000 at the end of taking out all our expenses. Many companies take a lot longer than this to become profitable. Naturally Splendid now has that foothold in our exporting. Our toll processing is cash flow positive. Our retail lines are growing consistently, and this is all adding to top-line sales, but more importantly, to a profitable company. Our objective, as I stated earlier, is to be consistently cash flow positive, and we look forward to doing that in our future quarters. So the revenue summary, and to show you the explosive growth in 2014, as you can see, we did $250,000 in sales. In 2015, we did just over $300,000. When you compare to 2016, $5 million at the end of Q2, you can see that our first quarter was 1.4, second quarter was 3.6, and third quarter so far is over $3.5 million in sales. I believe that Q4 has the potential to keep on pace, if not exceed what we're already doing. I don't see a slowdown in the future. Of course, there are many varying market conditions that change, I guess, on a daily basis, but Naturally Splendid is very much in tune with the evolving markets, and we believe we have positioned ourselves very strongly to continue to capitalize on the strong pull for our products throughout Asia. Not only that, our toll processing, we are engaged with additional clients where we believe that we can add additional revenue, and as stated, our retail lines are growing all the time as well. Why is this so important? We believe that our bulk sales and our retail sales and our toll processing are important cornerstones for us to be cash flow positive. Being cash flow positive allows the company to now aggressively pursue the opportunities for our proprietary and our patented products, and that being HempOmega, whether it be H2Omega or other plant-based ingredients and formulations, and in fact cannabinoid opportunities. So this is where the blue sky opportunity starts to come in, and I do want to just draw the importance to being a cash flow positive company as we begin to explore the opportunities and to deploy our strategic plans to capitalize on opportunities for HempOmega. And now that the regulatory environment has consistently and positively evolved, not only in North America, but we're seeing global movement in the area of cannabinoid opportunities. This allows Naturally Splendid now to begin putting the science and technology that we purchased earlier into commercial opportunities to add to our top and bottom lines. So what do we basically call this? I mean, it's market-disruptive extraction and formulation technologies. And once again, many of these operations will be carried out at the POS Bioprocessing Center that we own 51% of. but basically we are involved with bioactive plant-based ingredients. It's one of the fastest growing categories of ingredients out there. We like to focus on the plant-based omegas. In fact, water-soluble omega powders has a massive commercial opportunity, and the first product we have commercially ready right now is HempOmega. As many will know, we also have cannabinoid extraction technologies, and we can extract from industrial hemp and marijuana. We also have the world's first patented water-soluble cannabinoid technology. In last year, the Liberal government in Canada campaigned, part of their election campaign and platform was to legalize marijuana. We've seen some very positive movements towards this. Although nobody has a crystal ball that sees perfectly into the future, we have seen movement that by 2017, we could see positive movement in the regulatory environment that would allow us to extract cannabinoid, separate cannabinoids, either from industrial hemp or marijuana in Canada, and in fact aggressively market cannabinoid products here as well as in the United States. In short, everyone, the cannabinoid opportunity is evolving worldwide. Naturally Splendid is positioned well to capitalize on it. I know that many of you, and I'm sure these will be the questions at the end, want to know why the delay. I'll address that at the end. But we believe that being cash flow positive had to be of a primary concern for Naturally Splendid. And we did that with tried and tested products like our hemp products that we exported, the 3 retail lines that we had, our toll processing are all successful divisions. We will make our cannabinoid division as successful as the other 3 divisions. But we felt it was extremely important to capitalize on the purchase orders that were available, drive top-line sales, make our company profitable, which allowed us now to penetrate these other markets. And that was the strategy that we've been deploying here in 2016. So HempOmega, we were a finalist for Startup Ingredient of the Year. This has proved to be a great marketing tool for us. The Nutra Ingredients Awards are quite prestigious. It's given us a level of recognition globally now that has allowed me to entertain more opportunities to be able to market our HempOmega ingredients basically globally. So now that our other divisions are running smoothly, it is time now for the company to focus on HempOmega as well as our other plant-based ingredients. So this is very much top-of-mind awareness for Naturally Splendid right now, and we are aggressively pushing out our HempOmega strategy, and I would expect positive results certainly in Q4 of this year. But this gives you a good visual of what the market applications and potential for HempOmega can be, and it's not limited to this. But if we take a look, you can see obviously poultry opportunities and the cattle, which represents feedstock opportunity. You see the pet care opportunity, and then any number of food or beverages or sports drinks all have HempOmega opportunity, as well as a cosmeceutical. So not only can you eat HempOmega, but it also makes a wonderful cosmeceutical ingredient. And we're seeing some great pull, some great interest in using HempOmega, in fact, for cosmeceuticals. As many of you will know, we began selling HempOmega to Laguna Blends. We formulated some protein drinks for them, the Pro 369, which they are marketing. The importance here is that we were able to get a natural products number for these formulations for Laguna Blends using our HempOmega ingredient. It's a very important milestone for the company. HempOmega is approved as a natural product number, as part of a natural product number formulation, and this gives other potential clients great confidence to use this product or to use this ingredient in their formulations. Now, here's what I want to touch on, which are the opportunity in the United States. Naturally Splendid does have cannabinoid-based products and ingredients that we derive from industrial hemp. We believe that the cost of extracting CBD in particular from hemp has a potential economic advantage over extracting it from marijuana. Just that cost of growing marijuana as opposed to the cost of growing industrial hemp, is a driver to make us want to use industrial hemp. Also, commercially, the product is more acceptable globally, we are finding, when it's derived from industrial hemp. We don't have the concern of having to explain how we got an ingredient from marijuana. As we all know, many of the countries around the world are not as liberal as North America when it comes to marijuana legislation, which is a roadblock for CBD exports. But we are finding that roadblock is not nearly as great when these cannabinoids are extracted from industrial hemp. But we do have the ability for companies that are in the marijuana business to take their products and extract cannabinoids from them in an effort for them to create more of a pharmaceutical type product. Right now we're seeing many of the products for THC or CBD, the edibles. I believe that that is just the first step or the first evolution of THC and CBD and other cannabinoid based products. I believe a more nutraceutical type product, whether they be sprays or tinctures or capsules, I believe that's the next evolution to where this product line is going and the opportunity lies. The good news is our team has been working with industrial hemp in Canada for over 10 years, and we not only have a deep appreciation and understanding of the many benefits of this plant have to offer, but we also have the team to execute the strategy that we have put in place, and we will begin to focus more on cannabinoids than we have in the past. And I do want to take just a minute to address this, and then the questions I'm sure will come. And we hear often, and I'm questioned on this, and I certainly respect the question. Early in 2016, Naturally Splendid was very aggressive talking about HempOmega and cannabinoids. And we saw some immediate opportunities. There was some concern with the regulatory environment surrounding cannabinoids, but we were getting the right signals from governments on both sides of the border here in Canada and the U.S. that the CBD opportunity was evolving very quickly and very positively. And we wanted to be at the front of that. Anybody who's followed it has seen a bumpy road in the regulatory environment in North America surrounding cannabinoids. So what we did is we focused on the opportunity in exports because that opportunity came like a freight train. And Naturally Splendid was incredibly quick and aggressive in getting into the Korean market. I absolutely am certain if Naturally Splendid did not capitalize on the opportunity in South Korea, the questions today wouldn't be, what about HempOmega and what about cannabinoids? I would be questioning right now, why weren't we in South Korea? So please note that we have not shelved HempOmega. We haven't given up on the cannabinoid opportunity and strategies. We simply went for purchase orders that have almost equaled $10 million this year, over $9 million anyways. We had an opportunity to secure purchase orders that made us cash flow positive. And we did this in just 6 months. So now that we're cash flow positive, and I know I'm driving this home over and over again, but now that we're cash flow positive, we have the opportunity and the luxury to look at the cannabinoid opportunities, to look at our HempOmega technologies, and begin to deploy them globally with the luxury of being cash flow positive. And that's what our strategy has been. Now, why are we excited about cannabinoid applications? Even though that the regulatory environment and that road has been bumpy, like I've said, it's because the opportunity is massive. There is amazing health benefits from this incredible plant. And Naturally Splendid very much wants to be a part of this. And the environment is evolving positively. In my mind, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when these products become more socially accepted. We're very close to that. At the very least, we're much closer today than we've ever been to having these products available for the public. And as you can see, the one that we like, and many of you will know this, is CBD, cannabidiol. That has, without any of the psychoactive properties of THC, we believe the medicinal benefits surrounding cannabidiol are almost endless. And we have science and technologies and the expertise to develop either ingredients or final formulations or in fact final products to begin to market the CBD opportunity first in the United States, and quite possibly, if the regulatory environment evolves in a positive fashion like we're anticipating, into Canada in 2017. So there it is, guys. The opportunities is the regulatory environment has continued to positively evolve in the U.S. and Canada. Naturally Splendid does have unique CBD technologies. We do have formulated CBD products ready to go, and we are very much looking forward to penetrating this market in Q4 of 2016. Guys, just a quick summary. Why is Naturally Splendid in the right place at the right time? The functional food market globally is worth $240 billion. The Omega food market is worth $35 billion. The pet industry is a $60 billion opportunity. The cannabis market in the United States is growing rapidly. We're seeing more states come on, obviously, that are accepting cannabis as a product, both medicinally and recreationally, which is opening up new opportunities for Naturally Splendid, for cannabinoid extraction and formulation, and of course the state that started it all that was in Colorado. I just want to do a quick comparable for you and why Naturally Splendid is a good investment and why we have a range of opportunities. Burcon, which is a fantastic protein extraction and formulation company, has a market cap of $118 million, and if I'm not mistaken, Naturally Splendid has higher revenue totals than they do in 2016. Neptune Technologies, Omega extraction and formulation, obviously I've been driving that home all day long with our HempOmega in particular, but Naturally Splendid is in possession of significant Omega extraction and formulation technologies. Neptune Technologies is an $87 million market cap. Vega, a bioavailable plant-based ingredient retail line, recently sold for $500 million US. Okay? Naturally Splendid, as you know, has plant-based bioactive ingredients. Annie's Organics, which is a healthy food line. Many of you will know it of their, they have a mac cheese that's organic. And Annie's Organics, many of you will recognize the picture of the little bunny on the box. Sold for almost $1 billion or $820 million US. Naturally Splendid has healthy food lines. And Manitoba Harvest, which is a direct competitor in the hemp industry, recently sold for $132 million to a U.S. company. And Naturally Splendid, as you can see, is very much is involved in the hemp business. And in fact, that's where we're deriving most of our income from right now. The leadership team has been involved with Naturally Splendid for a number of years now. Our advisors are are a world-class team, right from Doug Mason and Dave Edo through Charlie Brink, Don Wood, Dr. Green at POS Biosciences, Peter Howes, a former VP for the Pattison Group, Mitch Berger, a former Super Bowl winner, and our most recent addition to this team is Richard McGauley, who is stationed in Europe for us, who is out there penetrating the Omega markets for us. And this is where we're seeing a lot of pull for our products. Many of you will know we're going through a private placement. I expect there to be answer or some questions after I finish the presentation. But we are looking for a minimum of $1.5 million. Our first close it was around $800,000. We are well into the second tranche now. It is a non-brokered private placement. It's available on both sides of the border, 27 cents a share. And we have a half warrant exercisable at 35 cents for up to 2 years. Our previous financings, and I just want to draw your attention to this and keep in mind that Naturally Splendid purchased a POS Biosciences or Bioprocessing Center for $2 million, of which $1.75 million of that was for cash. We made a significant investment in research and development of another $1.75 million. That is almost half the total that we raised went for 2 major acquisitions. My point being this, we are frugal with our shareholders' money and we invest it to create shareholder value. And we have done that through the acquisition of a processing facility as well as science and technologies. And we believe we're delivering shareholder value by adding these components into Naturally Splendid. And this with just a raise of $7 million. Milestones. I'm not going to go through all the milestones right now. I'll make sure that this presentation is up on our website so that you can go through the milestones at your own leisure. I've gone on a little bit longer than I anticipated. What I would like to do is now conclude this part of the presentation just by telling you this, is that Naturally Splendid is in fact ideally positioned to capitalize on the booming health and wellness industries. If you've been following the trend in this area, they are robust to say the least. And with key acquisitions such as POS BPC and the establishment of strategic partnerships like we did with POS Biosciences, the addition of food and beverage industry leaders on the advisory board, we are absolutely confident that we've assembled all the ingredients necessary to continue to deliver significant shareholder value to all of our shareholders at Naturally Splendid. So if there's any questions, please forward them to me. I will personally address them. And if there's any other questions to follow up, I would be pleased to address those as well. So with that, Derwin, I'd like to thank you very much. I look forward to the opportunity to speak to your listeners again in the very near future.
Well, thank you, Craig. You guys present once a month, so I think the audience will have a chance to answer any questions next month. And Naturally Splendid was sub-featured in the Cannabis Investor magazine last month, so you can go to the website and look at that sub-feature on our website regarding Naturally Splendid Enterprises. The website is CANNAInvestorMag.com, CANNA investormag.com. Thanks a lot, Craig. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys next month.
Thank you very much, everyone.